Hi everybody, it's John with The Simplest Biz, and I wanted to take a minute and go through something I had on my opt-in page that you might not have scrolled down to see. And it's the 25 reasons I've stuck with this business model for the last, actually 21 years. It says 20 on here. It's now 21. Now, the reason I wanted to go over this, it's going to give you some clarity about what this business model is, and it also is going to help you possibly see yourself in the position that I put myself in over the last 21 years. So you can get a better in-depth knowledge of why I'm making the statements I'm making in this this list here. Okay, so let's just get right to it. I make more money on a Monday morning than most people do all week. Well, there's a whole wide swath of individuals, you know, brain surgeons and doctors and lawyers and stuff that, you know, I don't know if I can compete with them, but we do pretty darn good as far as that goes. And on Monday, for me, it's every week, it's the same customers I'm dealing with, unless I've made a phone call and added a few things to those orders for pallets or drums or crates or whatever. So I do normally 3 loads on Monday. Now, one of the customers that I deal with, they switch their order up every other Monday, right? Meaning they have different stuff being delivered every Monday, but every other week it's different, if that makes sense. So the runs I'm making on every Monday run from $600 to $750. So I actually have a $600 delivery, $675, and a $750 every Monday morning. Now, you do the math. It's pretty good, and that's most and I'm doing that in the morning, you know, because it doesn't take long to execute 3 loads when we're dealing really tight radiuses. And that's how I teach this as well in the course. So you're not having to drive, you know, picking up here and driving 20 miles or something to a delivery. The way it's taught, you're going to learn, you're going to be very concentrated, and you're picking up and you're going just a few blocks. You're going to rinse and repeat from that, even that same supplier. You have several suppliers that are really tight 7, 6, 5 block radius. Okay, so that's why I'm able to execute that. And sorry, my phone's dinging here, and get that executed in a short amount of time and make quite a bit of money on a Monday morning. Now, you know, back in my early days, I would take the week off sometimes, way back when. I can't get away with that. I'm married, I got kids, I got a responsibility and all that. So yes, I keep going through the week for all, you know, I built this out even more over the years. So that's number one. I get 95% of my products for free. That's list number 2 here on here. Let's go over that. 95% of my pallets, all styles, crates, drums, corrugated boxes, 55-gallon drums, I get for free. The 5% I pay for is I have certain customers that need specific pallets, right? And I don't even have a lot of those because I don't want to get stuck. I don't like having to pay for anything. So I do have 5% of them as an example, a standard pallet, which I have very few customers, which is I don't want to get into the details. You'll learn it in the course. It's just a normal pallet that you'd see in like a grocery store as an example. Well, I'll pay $1 a piece for those, okay? It's a competitive pallet, but I'm selling it for $5, $6, $7.50, depending on different features, heat treated, you know, number 1s, number 2s. You don't understand all that yet anyway, but I'll get into that in the course as well. Okay, so that's what I'm paying for. I also have some 12-foot long pallets that I'll pay $4 a piece for, right? But I can sell them all the way up to $72 per unit. I'll do that all day long, folks. So, but the rest of the stuff, as I've stated, not only do I get it for free, I have in cases where they're paying me to take it away and I'm selling it on top of it. Okay? So that's what I wanted to get across and kind of flush out number 2 for you so you understand what's going on. Number 3, it's simple and easy to execute. Now, if it's done the right way. Now, all these videos that you're seeing that I'm going through, that you've been receiving via email, understand you're in the watching the rinse and repeat part of this equation, of this business model. The secret sauce is me teaching you how to set these deals up correctly, where they are, who they are, what to say, how to consult these businesses, what to notice, which questions to ask, how to become exclusive, right? How to have all the different solutions and different types of solutions for different types of buyers and sellers. Buyers and suppliers. So I got to walk you through that whole process. And once it's set up and you've consulted them the right way, the way it's taught in the training, then all they're doing is ordering over and over and over again. And I want to get into something about the ordering part. We're not waiting by the phone, waiting for an order to come in. I'll get into that in a minute. We're dictating. This is a specific product, that allows us to dictate when we work within reason. Okay? So, number 4, my competition completely sucks. I guess that's a little graphic, but I'm going to pause this for a second. My wife just honked the horn. I imagine I have to get something out of the car. So I'm back. Actually, I did need to get something out of the car last evening. It's actually the next morning now, and I'm starting back up at this. So back to where I was, number 4. Competition sucks. You remember I was discussing standard pallets and it being competitive and all? Well, the issue, number 1, with the individuals that we're competing against, all they're going after is for that standard pallet. And they're mostly selling to pallet yards. If they do have a customer, they don't really deal with anything outside of that. So let me help you understand. If they're going after a supplier, and the supplier has 5 different pallets. Let's say they have 500 at their location, 400, whatever. And they're generating, 50 a day or whatever. That individual who's not knowing what they're doing is having to dig through all those 3 other styles to get to that one style that they want, because they don't know how to operate this and move all the different types of supply. Well, they can't become exclusive for that supply because they end up making a mess for that particular one. Plus, for whatever reason, since this is an unsexy, invisible niche, these individuals, a lot of them haven't bathed in 3 days, as an example. They're not very responsible, would be a better way of putting it. So we have businesses trying to call these up because their prices might be cheaper, or most likely cheaper than a pallet yard. But if I got a business, I'm a business owner, I'm trying to call out for some pallets. I'm down to 5 and I got 7 trucks coming in today. And I call this individual up that's not very responsible and his phone's shut off, or I can't get a hold of them, but I still have those 5 trucks coming in today. Can you understand what type of havoc that produces? It has a domino effect for a whole week. In addition, they don't consult these businesses. They're just, and a lot of them want to be paid right then. Some of these folks have habits, you might have seen them. They have, really beat up junker vehicles, and they're not doing this business in the correct manner. And they're underserving the businesses that we want to get. So us going in and actually being able to consult these businesses and make it happen will solidify your relationship with them, because you're serving them better. I'm going to teach you how to do this properly. And it really gives you a long-term customer, literally for decades. I think I said literally a few too many times here, but for a very long period of time, you have these customers. I have customers from 1998 to this day, because I serve them right and I teach you how to do the same thing. So they have thousands of orders, those customers I'm referring to, that they've ordered from me over these years. And that's the wonderful thing about this business as well. There's also pallet yards. They're not our competition either. They're going after customers that are wanting, 1,000 pallets a week. And we don't want to get into that game. We want the 200 a week, 150 twice a week, 200 twice a week, 200 every 10 days, something like that. Pallets, crates, drums, boxes that we can easily handle and boom, 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 knock it out. Well, if I'm a business owner and I call up the pallet yard and I need 150 pallets, well, the phone conversation is, I need 150 pallets, Mr. Pallet Yard. And they go, well, the minimum order is 500. Ouch. And oh, by the way, here's our price. And it's a premium price. They got overhead. forklift drivers, they got buildings, they got salespeople, they got trucks, they got the lease on the land. The whole process pushes that price up for the pallets, right? So they have that premium price on top of that minimum order of 500, and then, oh, by the way, there's a $150 delivery charge on top of that, Mr. Business Owner. So you add those three things up, and they've put a medium and small business into a very bad situation. And we're here to help them not only with those solutions, but with a ton of others. Okay, so that's why us learning this the right way and going out there and executing this. I mean, I have reports from students getting hugs from these burly warehouse managers because finally they got somebody who understands their pain and is willing to help them out in the right way. So I want to teach you this so you can get off to a fast start as well. Okay. More than full, where am I? Only need a handful of customers to make it work. Yes, number 5. So, you know, I was telling you about how they order over and over again. I have customers from way back when as well. So that's the magic of it. If you have 5 customers, 5 accounts, let's say, and each one of those accounts is ordering, let's say, 2 styles of pallets and corrugated boxes on this one. 1 style of pallet, 55-gallon drums, and dunnage with this one, and 2 styles of pallets with this one. Well, my point is, you turn these 5 revenue streams, or just 5 customers, a handful of customers, into 12 or 15 revenue streams. So everything is being, at any given time, there's something being ordered from you. You're a one-stop shop. So we're not having to pound the pavement for the rest of our life trying to figure out where our next money's coming from. We set these up the correct way and service them the right way, and we have a multitude of revenue streams coming out. And guess what? When they got 7 and 8 trucks going out that day, everyone's filled with pallets, and guess what's on those pallets? Corrugated boxes that they put their product in that we sold them as well. That's 2 of our items. Well, a lot of times 1 pallet and 10 boxes, that's 11 items of ours going out the door they never see again. Now, that's just on 1 pallet on 1 truck. Now you multiply that out into 8, 10, 15, 18, 20 pallets on a 18-wheeler going out, and multiply that times 5 or 7 or 10 or 12 trucks going out a day. That's a lot of your product going out the door on a daily basis. And that creates a whole wonderful rinse and repeat process that they run out and they need more. I hope that I made that as clear as possible. More than full-time money on part-time hours. It's now Monday morning. It's early. It's 6:20 or something here, a.m. Central Time. I'm going to execute those 3 deliveries. All right. And I'm going to get there at my truck. I have my truck parked at one of my customers, and I give them some extra pallets every, once a month to let me park there. My wife doesn't want my car parked here at my house. I live in the suburbs, and it's a 12-foot long, 8-foot wide flatbed. So it'll take me about 15 minutes to get my truck, hop in. I pull out, and I literally, my first pickup is 300 yards or less from my truck. And I pull there, they load, half a load. It's my first stop, and I drive 2 blocks around the corner to another business. He comes out and fills up the truck the rest of the way, and then I'm going 2.5 blocks from there to my buyer, my first buyer. Back 3 blocks to another supplier, pick up a full load there, and I'm going 7 blocks to my second buyer. Okay, and then I'm going back to that same, because they generate so much, that second supply, and they're loading me up again, and I'm going about 4 blocks right next, basically right next, it's not even 4 blocks, 3 blocks, right back next door to where I park my truck. Okay, so that's why it's done in such a short amount of time. It's numbers. We're not trading hours for money. We're trading units for money. And I'm going to teach you how to move 200, 300, even 500, 600 pallets in a very short period of time in the morning. This morning, as an example, it's only going to take me hour and 45 minutes to move the 300 and something pallets I'm moving this morning. So that's why it translates into the money we're talking about. Okay? I never have to work for the man again. When I started this back in 1998, I didn't know where I was going. I mean, I was a newbie of just getting into this. And believe me, you're going to have a roadmap to make it a lot easier for yourself. Regardless of that, I was working for myself then as well. I was working as doing remodeling work. But let's just call that the man, because it was hard work. I haven't worked for somebody in a really long time. Anyway, when I went out and got my first 6 customers in 1 week, that's buyers. And I got 12 suppliers that first week as well. Those 6 customers replaced my income back in 98, excuse me. It replaced my income in 1 week. Meaning I didn't make the money I made in a year in 1 week. Those accounts was equivalent to income I was making over a year period, because they ordered week after week after week of what I was making. So it was a quick get, and I hustled. And I'm going to ask you to hustle too when you do this, because the money's there. And I built it out way more than I did that first week, of course, over the years. So it's there for you, and I just want to convey that. Of course, number 8 over here, I get to set my own hours. This is very important, and I kind of referred to it a little earlier. I do not sit by the phone waiting for an order to come in. You know, a lot of them I teach you how to train your customers and get on a schedule. But even so, like this morning, if I chose to, I can pick the phone up in addition to those 3 orders and call one of my other customers right near there and, you know, have the conversation. Listen, I'm in your area. They need this product. Even if they don't need it right yet, they don't mind me coming early, right? And I love that about this business. I don't have to wait. I can dictate the terms within reason. So if I want to take a vacation, or if I want to knock somebody out on a certain day of the week, a customer, and get them out of the way, or I need extra money, I get to pick the phone up and dictate it. Because if they run out of this product, it's all screwed up. So I have leeway, and I can mix and match when I want to work, and really get my logistics down the way I want it, instead of, I hope I get a call today. Don't work like that, which is a great thing. Okay, let's go through one more, because I mean, there's like 20 something on here, so this video will be very long if I went through all of them. Maybe I'll do another, or part 2 at some other time. I get out of the house and away from the computer. Right now I'm in front of the computer, but I'm about to head out and do my orders. I have interest on the internet as well. You know, I learned some things. This business gave me some time to actually learn some things about the internet. And plus, you know, I show people about this course, so I had to learn some things as well about that, and SEO, and I realized at one point in time, I was literally spending hours and hours and hours in front of the computer trying to learn all this stuff about SEO, search engine optimization, and websites, and, you know, these pages and stuff like this. And you could just feel the blood pooling in your, you know, my gut. You know, it's too long to be sedentary in front of this thing. And I realized, you know, how wonderful it is to actually be able to, once I got all this knowledge down, I get to pick and choose how much time I stand in front of get in front of this computer. Plus, this gets me out, gets me moving, gets my blood moving as well, working this business. So I don't plan to fall over dead from sitting in front of a computer like some computer-based businesses are. You know, you got to get up and move. So this allows me to have another facet to my life as well, and get the exercise I need, even though it's minimal. But we can't just sit in front of our computers all day with these internet-based business and expect money just to be shooting out of our computer screen and all that type of thing. This is just a real business that gives you an option to get out there and move as well. All right, I'll do one more. Let's do 10. you know, I said I don't mind doing the honey-do list. Well, some days I do actually. That my wife is OCD a little. I say that in jest, but she's very detail oriented, and she comes up. She knows I have a lot of extra time on my hands because of the way this business operates. So if there is a downside, it is the fact that she's able to write these lists out for me of things to do. And you know, when I really am honest with myself, I'm grateful that I have the time to execute it. Now, when I first see that list that she puts down on a daily basis, you know, sometimes my eyes glaze over and all, but it's really wonderful to have the freedom to be able to, you know, knock that stuff out in the middle of the afternoon where most people are at their 9 to 5 in their cubicle or you know, working a shift or working by the hour or this type of thing. So that's been a really big blessing, and it's a direct correlation because of how this business is set up. Okay, so I'm going to stop there and kind of digest what I'm saying. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with the information in this video, but I wanted to just go into detail on why I'm stating the things I'm stating in this little section here, which is the 25 reasons why I've stuck to this business model for 20 years. If you go to the simplest biz for you, the letter u.weebly.com, and you want to go through the rest of these reasons, you can take a look at them there. You just have to scroll past the form and come down to here and look at them. But I plan to do another video and go over the other reasons as well. All right, thanks for spending time with me, and it's time for me to get to work. Y'all have a good one.